In this episode, we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Jose Cuervo Reserva de Familia right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and doing a tasting review of Reserva de Familia from Jose Cuervo. Now there's some really interesting information about this brand, so we're going to get into a little bit about it and some pre-testing that I've done with this brand beforehand. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get into some background about this brand. All right, Jose Cuervo is a friend of mine. I used to drink it with a little salt and lime. Jose Cuervo's been around for a long time. And as you know, produces many different kinds of tequila. They're the largest tequila manufacturer in the area. They also have the best-selling tequila in the United States as well as in Mexico. So go figure that, right? The Reserva de Familia was supposed to be, from what they say, is the first extra añejo ever produced. Now, when they produced this, it's supposed to be the Reserva of the family, the good stuff. It's supposed to be the traditional stuff that is made the way the family has made it for years, and it's supposed to be like a representative of what Jose Cuervo good quality tequila is. It's been, appreciated by aficionados for a while. It's probably the one you'll see the most in any aficionado Facebook group. One of the things that's really cool about it is each year they have an artist design a different box for them, and these are kind of like art collector's items. So you'll see people that actually will buy them and will store the boxes and keep the boxes as artwork, because it is Mexican artists that do the art on these boxes, and each year it changes. So this is the one, I believe, for 2020 that just came out. This is the new one. The one for the 2018 one, which I'm going to be reviewing today, has a monkey on it, and you'll see that in the information video. So there you go. There's some information about the brand. Let's get into how this tequila is made. Reserva de Familia from Jose Cuervo comes out of NOM 1122. The name of the distillery is La Rojena, or also known as Casa Cuervo. It is located in the city of Tequila in Jalisco, Mexico. The master distiller is Alex Coronado. They use, of course, Weber Blue Agave from the Valles. They cook the agave using stone brick ovens, and then they extract the sugars from the agave fibers using a roller mill. It is then fermented in stainless steel tanks, and then it is twice distilled using copper pot stills. It is then aged in bourbon barrels. So use bourbon barrels, and with the barrels they will age it in there, and then they blend them together to get the flavor profiles that they want. So there's different ages, different flavors, and they blend them together, and each year has a different flavor profile. It's not all the same. Now, with all of these processes they use here, they do not use those on all their tequila. So all their tequila isn't made like this. They do own a diffuser, and a lot of their brands, they do use the diffuser to make now. The lowest price I've been able to find this for is what I bought this bottle for, which is $99.97. All right, so there's some information about how this tequila is made. Let's get into the tasting portion and some additional information. All right, so I've had many people ask me, they said, hey, Tequila Hombre, do you think Reserva de Familia from Cuervo has additives in it? And I wasn't really sure, so I decided to put it to the additive test. And, well, here's what I found. I'll put pictures up from what I found. If you look here, you can see this is a picture of the Cuervo when I put it into a pan. And if you want to test your tequilas at home and stuff, you can do it this way as well. I put it into a stainless steel pan and just put enough in to cover the bottom of the pan, so it will leave any residue from any of the additives when it's done. And then what you do is you just simmer it at the lowest temperature. Just let it sit at the lowest temperature. You evaporate off the alcohol, evaporate off the water, and then any solids that are in it will be left. And so what this means is additive-wise is you will find if there's glycerin that's been put into it, if there's oak extract, if there's any kind of sugar or simple syrup type of syrups put into it as well. It won't detect, it won't know if you they put vanilla flavoring or anything like that in, because a lot of that will boil off, but it will tell you whether it's got any what they call the mellowing additives in it. So I put this to the test, wanted to see if there was any of the mellowing additives in it, and sure enough, the results were kind of interesting. Here's the next picture of what the results were, and as you can see, there's a gelatinous coating on the bottom of this pan, which leads me to believe that there is some glycerin in this. And then when you taste it, when I tasted the glycerin, it was very sweet and medicinal tasting, like cherry vanilla cough syrup. So that leads me to believe that there's additives used in Jose Cuervo Reserva de Familia, at least at this 2018 batch. I'm not sure about the other batches. I heard in previous years that in some of the earlier years, it was very good. So if you can find earlier bottles like 2008 and before, try those and see what you think. You can test them as well. But you can find some of the older bottles all over the place. But as far as the 2018 goes, I'm firmly confident that there's additives in this, and this test shows that. So now let's get into the tasting of this and see what it's all about. All right, going up top to the pour cam, I am using the Denver and Liley agave glass, which is the one I'm now my go-to glass for drinking tequila and mezcals. We'll go ahead and pour from this 2018 Jose Cuervo La Familia batch. There we go. All right, and let's go ahead and go up top and see what it looks like in the glass. All right, looking at what this looks like in the glass. As you can see, it coats the glass nicely, and the glycerin addition will actually help that happen. So you can see it's got nice legs to it. Looks really nice. And then looking at the tequila itself, it is a nice copper brown color. Very clear, looks good, looks clean. So let's see what we get on the nose on this. I'm getting a very sweet nose on this. It's kind of cherryish, with definitely there's vanilla and caramel in it. I'm not getting anything along the lines of the cinnamon baking spices and stuff that you normally get from a good cooked agave notes from it, but I am getting nice kind of like a maraschino cherry, like a sweet cherry with vanilla and caramel in there. It smells very sweet. So it doesn't smell bad. It smells like some aged extra añejos do. It's just I normally like ones that have a little more agave on the front, which this doesn't. All right, so let's see what we get on the flavor profile. It coats the mouth nicely, which the glycerin will help with. Has a nice mouthfeel to it. It's got a little bit of a burn to it, a little bit of harshness that comes out from the beginning. And then you get this really sweet vanilla that comes through. Let me see what else we pick up. Definitely a sweet vanilla. I'm getting like cherry. I'm getting some caramel coming through. It's got a burn to it. It's probably a medium-sized burn, and it lingers on the finish. And it's got a little bit of a chemical taste that's coming through on the end. You know, it doesn't taste bad, okay? If you are somebody that hasn't really tasted well-made tequila, it doesn't taste that bad. It's not like it's gross tasting. It just doesn't taste like a really well-made, pure tequila. So I do think that there's definitely additives in this. And my guess, too, would be they mix some diffuser tequila in this as well, because it's got a thin chemical kind of taste to it that you find a lot in diffused tequila. And it has a burn that just lasts a long time on it. But it's not offensive on the tasting. It's just not natural. So if you like your tequila to have the sweet vanilla and caramel flavors, now it's not really sweet like some brands are, like Cavadoro. So they don't add as much additives for that, I don't think. But it is has the sweet vanilla, caramel. I'm not even tasting like oak coming through, like the oak bitterness that I normally like in an extra añejo. But it's not bad. I mean, it doesn't taste bad. It's just not reflective of what a really good extra añejo should taste like. So I'm going to give this one 2 agave. Is it worth $120 to buy? I wouldn't. $99. If you've never tried it before and want to give it a whirl, you want the box, sure, why not? I won't be buying any more of this. I've got my bottles, and I might sip it every once in a while, but it's not something that I'm going to say, okay, I want a really nice tequila. I'm going to have some Jose Cuervo Reserva de Familia. Well, that's it. I'd love to hear your comments. Have you tried the 2018? What did you think? You're getting the chemical notes in it? Does it taste kind of artificial to you? Are you getting the sweetness as well? Comment below, let me know. What are your feelings on Jose Cuervo Reserva de Familia? Will you spend the money to buy something like that? $120 is about the normal going price. You can find it for $99.99 at Costco's, where I found it up in Northern California. But you can find it at some places maybe that cheap, and some places it's even more expensive, $130 to $150. So, have you bought some? What do you think? Did you find the same thing I did? Did you find it not as good as some of the other extra añejos that are better made, that are priced in this price? I'd love to hear your feedback. Don't forget to give me a like for the information I shared, and more importantly, don't forget to subscribe. I've got lots of great review videos coming up, as well as other informational videos I'd love for you to see. So make sure you click the subscribe button, and don't forget to click the notification button right below, so when I post these, you get notification. You don't miss them. Okay? And until next time, like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So I'm going to put this one aside. Salud.